Inilah file yang memperlihatkan nama Sri Mulyani muncul dalam dokumen Jeffrey Epstein. Departemen Kehakiman Amerika Serikat merilis lebih dari 3.000 halaman dari 3 juta halaman dokumen tambahan kasus Jeffrey Epstein. Langkah ini merupakan tindak lanjut Undang-Undang Transparansi berkas Epstein yang ditandatangani Presiden Donald Trump. Dokumen tersebut memuat catatan penyelidikan hingga korespondensi, membuka kembali kasus yang sudah lama yang diselimuti misteri dan spekulasi global.
Good morning. President Trump signed the Epstein Files Transparency Act into law on November 19th, 2025, directing the Department of Justice to produce all documents, files, records, videos, and images related to the investigations and prosecutions of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm here today to talk about the department's compliance with its production obligations under the Act. Around, I think right now, and continuing throughout the day-to-day, as the indexing and uploading completes, we are producing responsive materials under the Act. We are also releasing today a letter we are transmitting to Congress and various internal protocols associated with our review. I want to take a moment to thank the professionals at the Department of Justice who met twice daily, sometimes more, for the last 75 days to get to where we are today. The leadership teams from the Office of the Attorney General, from the Deputy Attorney General's Office, the Associate Attorney General's Office, the Criminal Division, the National Security Division, the FBI, the Southern District of Florida, the Southern District of New York, and the Northern District of New York all gave up many hours every single day on top of their other, of course, full-time obligations to fulfill the President Trump's promise of transparency to the American people. I also want to thank the more than 500 lawyers and professionals across all those divisions that I just mentioned and others who worked long days, nights, weekends, Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, nights, weekends, and holidays to complete this production. These highly trained reviewers spend their careers putting bad guys in jail and effectuating the mission of the department. And to a person, they work tirelessly to protect victims and comply with the act since its passage. So thank you to all of them. Today we are producing more than 3 million pages, including more than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images. In total, that means that the department produced approximately 3.5 million pages in compliance with the Act. Just a quick note about the videos and images. The 2,000 videos and 180,000 images are not all videos and images taken by Mr. Epstein or someone around him. They include large quantities of commercial pornography and images that were seized from Epstein's devices, but which he did not take or that someone around him did not take.
Awal Februari 2026, dokumen Jeffrey Epstein, salah satu dari banyak nama yang mencuat, salah satu nama Sri Mulyani. Namun fakta menunjukkan dokumen tersebut adalah bagian dari kumpulan arsip kelembagaan yang disita dalam penyidikan hukum Epstein. Nama Sri Mulyani muncul karena tercantum dalam dokumen internal World Bank Group atau Bank Dunia bertanggal 18 Juni 2014, di mana Sri Mulyani menjabat sebagai Managing Director dan Chief Operating Officer. Sementara Presiden Amerika Serikat Donald Trump menyangkal keterlibatannya. Trump melihat ini adalah sebagai sebuah konspirasi untuk menjatuhkannya dalam pemilihan.
Not as bad as Jimmy Kimmel, but pretty close. And no, he made a statement about me and Jeffrey Epstein. I have nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And in fact, if you look at the DOJ, they announced, they released 3 million pages. It's like this is all they're supposed to be doing. And frankly, the DOJ, I think, should just say, we have other things to do, because that whole thing has turned out, other than Bill Clinton and, Bill Gates and lots of people there are a lot of questions about it, but nothing on me. But it was even sort of better than that, because they found that Jeffrey Epstein and this sleazebag writer named Michael Wolff were conspiring against Donald Trump to lose the election. So Epstein was conspiring with a writer for me to lose the election. So right there, you know that I had nothing to do with this guy. But yeah, it's a terrible thing. The amount of time that's being wasted. When Epstein was alive, like 10 years ago, nobody cared about it. But they're only doing it. But now it's really hitting back on them, because Bill Clinton is such a big part of it. The Democrats are pushing it. And the problem is that it's turning out to be the Democrats that were with and conspired with Epstein. So I think you're probably going to see a little pullback from them. But think of it. They were working together to try and help me lose the election.
Sementara salah seorang anggota Kongres dari Partai Demokrat, Ted Lieu, mengatakan Donald Trump disebutkan ribuan kali dalam berkas Epstein yang beredar.
So why are Republicans so interested in Bill and Hillary Clinton? It's because they're trying to distract from the fact that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files thousands and thousands of times. In those files, there's highly disturbing allegations of Donald Trump raping children, of Donald Trump threatening to kill children. So I encourage your press to go look at these allegations, and I'm highly disturbed that Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche just got the law wrong. Yesterday, he said, essentially, that it is not a crime to party with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, that's actually not correct. If Jeffrey Epstein was human trafficking minors for these sex parties, and you show up and patronize the establishment at that party, yes, you're guilty, because patronizing is part of the law, of the federal sex trafficking law. So Deputy General Todd Blanche just got that wrong, which maybe explains why they aren't investigating all these folks, including Donald Trump. He needs to read the law and investigate these people. He also needs to resign, not only for not knowing the law, but a massive, not only screw up, but the biggest privacy violation in history. They release a lot of pictures of minors unredacted, just violated the privacy of these girls. It is uncalled for what they did. The one thing that they could not do under this law was to invade the privacy of these women now, who were girls at the time, who were victims of sex trafficking. Also, he met with Ghislaine Maxwell, moved her to a minimum security prison, and then got a puppy for her. So for all those reasons, he's just got to leave the Department of Justice.
I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a...
Presiden Amerika Serikat Donald Trump menyerang balik koresponden CNN Kathleen Collins di ruang oval pada hari Selasa 3 Februari 2026. Ya, Kathleen Collins mencoba bertanya tentang rilis terbaru berkas-berkas terkait Jeffrey Epstein.
I have a lot of things I'm doing, a lot of things I'm doing. I don't know. You mentioned 2 names. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent?
The fact that they thought they released too much. I heard that, and you tell me something else. No, but I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
What would you say to people who feel like they haven't gotten justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel like they have gotten
You are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. She's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face.
I'm asking you about survivors of Jeffrey Epstein.
You know why you're not smiling? Because you're not telling the truth. And you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you.
Okay, survivors of a sexual abuse or
health care.
Thank you, please. Thank you.
Mr. President, can you respond to the new Fox poll that says people think ISIS's tactics are too aggressive? Photographers, supporters, we're done. Thank you, cameras, we're going. Thank you, press. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Are we going to flip for this, or what are we going to do? Oh, sorry, I'm really
Sementara para pengunjuk rasa di London telah memasang pita di pagar istana Buckingham. Mereka menuntut pengungkapan penuh terkait hubungannya salah seorang kerabat kerajaan, Pangeran Andrew, dengan salah satu nama dalam bekas Epstein. Sementara kepolisian Inggris akan menyelidiki Peter Mandelson, mantan duta besar Inggris untuk AS, atas dugaan pelanggaran jabatan publik. Menyusul dirilisnya jutaan dokumen terkait Jeffrey Epstein, di mana namanya tercantum.
The latest files released by US authorities showed he'd leaked confidential government documents to Epstein and received financial payments from him. Mandelson maintains the allegations are false. He lost his ambassadorial role in September after an earlier batch of files showed he'd remained close to the convicted paedophile for much longer than he'd acknowledged.